Alright guys, so I'm making this video titled Meditate to Regain Focus, and I titled it Meditate to Regain Focus is because I haven't meditated for 2 weeks solid now, and before that I would meditate every day, basically every day, for a year. I meditated every day for a year before, and all of a sudden now I didn't meditate for 2 weeks. And even in that, the shitty part is, if you're new at meditating, then you would assume that if you meditated for a good chunk amount of time and you don't meditate anymore and you don't be consistent, you will still hope and sort of think that it will somehow help you in the future. And obviously I think in a small degree it definitely does, but the unfortunate part is that if you don't be consistent, then you will start to lose focus and you will start to have a rush mind. Now, whatever I'm saying right now, it doesn't mean that it happens every time, and some people are. You'll just be more aware, which is a lot nicer and which is a lot more beneficial than before. Your state of mind was kind of short-tempered. You kind of threw short-temper tantrums. You were just not aware of your surroundings, and obviously meditation helped you in that way. But for me, I haven't meditated for 2 weeks, and I think it's a really good segue to help you sort of remember that even if you don't be consistent, it's better. Because I guess most people that talk about meditation is already and has done meditation for a good amount of time, and they're telling you while they're in that zone, while they're in their flow. And so for me, I'm not in my flow. I lost it, and I'm going to try to gain it back. So that's why I'm making this video, because it kind of connects with you it kind of connects with you a lot better than how someone who's in their zone tells you how to be consistent in a practice and a habit. So I think this definitely helps. So for you and I, we have to meditate back. We have to gain that consistency. And I would probably just advise that you don't really have to go through a lot of videos and find the best one to meditate. It really does not really matter. All you have to do is keep it. You have to regain that consistency, and how you regain that consistency is just through small steps. A very cliche thing to say. So step by step you make progress, step by step you make profit, step by step you make consistency. So you have to get back into the zone. And how would I advise you do that, and how am I going to do it, is by not, I would just start by meditating for maybe even 2 minutes or maybe even 3 minutes, and all you have to do is just focus on your breath. Your breath is a rhythmic, your breath is very rhythmic. Your breath it kind of keeps you aware, because it's kind of easy to track. You can obviously track with counting, but I always lose my count whenever I reach like 50, which is kind of annoying, but that's something that I need to work on. I don't know what you struggle with, but I would probably just say you should keep that breath consistent. And like I said before in many videos, meditation is probably one of the most crucial things that we have to do for our self-development, for our personal development, because right now there's a pandemic excuse me, of us all not having enough focus, and I'm also suffering through it. Like, I'm also having a problem with focus, and it sucks because I kind of wish I had more focus. But this is a problem, so we all have to somehow get through it and really work through it. So yeah, do like a 2 or 3 minute meditation. Just close your eyes, just breathe and try to focus. Be like rhythmic, and through that you'll start to build more consistency. And after like day 5 or day 7, you can add up more time, and then you can go up to 5 minutes, and then you can go up to even 10 minutes or even 20 or 30 minutes. But it just comes back, it builds up later. I myself haven't really done any meditation for 30 minutes in a long time, or even 1 hour in a long time. Back then in high school, I used to do 1 hour, and that's actually thanks to my school curriculum, not me being disciplined enough to meditate. But obviously that habit and that practice is still kept with me, is still with me as I grow older. So this definitely helps. So if you're on a personal development, you definitely should meditate. And it's just because you want to gain focus, you want to regain focus, because right now there's a pandemic of not having enough focus. And you can probably relate, because when you are on your computer or when you are in your phone and when you are just talking with people, you start to get bored, and you never realize why you're getting bored. You never realize, is it okay that I am getting bored? Like maybe me being in boredom is normal and I should go through it because boring is part of life. But you're just so used to stimulation and dopamine rushes and just constant dopamine feedbacks. You want all those you just want a burst of energy each time you hear a content or see a content, and that's the problem, because you're consuming too much dopamine rushed content. So that's what you want to do. Meditation is, I guess in a way, meditation is just a practice that can help you. Sorry, this ant is really bothering me. It keeps like trying to crawl into my pants. So yeah, anyways, you want to regain that focus, and how you do that is through doing a boring practice like meditation and try to live through it and try to go by it, and that will somehow in a way make you appreciate those boring times. So I mean, how it helped me for sure is, I remember, so I was never a reader per se, I guess. Yeah, I never really read many books when I was in middle school and high school, and even in elementary school, just because my main content source was television, video games, and sports. So I would watch all sorts of sports, because all of these 3 content sources were just stimulating. And because I was so addicted, I guess I always say I was addicted. You have to really be honest with yourself and admit that you were addicted to these contents. And I used to watch these all the time and play it all the time. I used to play a lot of soccer, and soccer is obviously really good sport, is healthy, and etc., you know all that. But you don't want to be at that level where you cannot think of, like, while you're sleeping you think about it. That's a problem. Like, honestly, you're not able to switch tasks, so that's the problem. And for me, honestly, that was a problem. I haven't played soccer for like 2 years now, and I stopped playing because of that. So now I just work out, and that's probably the best. I don't know, I just see more beneficial working out. Like, you look better, and then you're looking better, and you're also seeing results, like, in a way. Soccer, obviously, you're burning fat, but my body shape isn't looking better when I'm playing soccer. And all other things, injury. I would get injured all the time playing soccer. I'm not too like here to dump and talk shit about soccer or anything, but you know what I mean. You don't want to be at that level where you're just kind of addicted to it. So yeah, these 3 were my content sources, and when I started reading books, it was just so hard to be focused. I would feel drowsy and feel sleepy in about 5 or 10 minutes of reading time, and it was so tedious for me. But how I regained it is by keep constantly reading, and now I can just read for 2 hours in 1 hour, and it's a skill. It honestly is a very worthwhile and appreciating skill. And I don't know who, it was Jordan Peterson who talks about, I don't know if you don't know Jordan Peterson. He's a psychology professor, and a lot more than that, he's actually an author too, and I'm listening to a lot of his podcasts and watching his videos. And one of the things that he always talks about is you want to be articulately dangerous, and you want to be dangerous in writing, you want to be dangerous in your speech, and you want to be dangerous thinking. You want to, not in a bad way, obviously, you want to, what he means by dangerous is basically just being extremely articulate and just knowing how to defend himself and also protecting people through speech, writing, and thinking. And honestly, that's the superpower right now for basically all of us. Yeah, that is the superpower for all of us. Now is not brain power that matters. Now is not strength power or muscle power that matters. Now is not muscle time, it's actually brain time. So you want to be it's all about what's in here, and yeah, basically that's what it is. And you want to start that by having enough focus, and that's the problem that we all have, not having enough focus, and I'm also included. So my goal every year is try to regain more focus, and I've been looking through my journals and I've realized that my focus is a lot better than it used to be. And if you're seeing those small results, then it kind of makes it happier, right? It kind of makes you happier, kind of keeps you more motivated. Because even in the gym, for example, when you're progressively overloading and you're seeing more plates putting onto the barbells, then you're like, oh shit, I'm actually getting stronger. You see that visual feedback. You have a visual feedback and you see your results happening. But as for these sort of example like meditation, it's kind of hard to realize. But so another thing is, I would recommend you track. So I use my calendar for tracking, and I also talked about calendar in a previous video of how important calendar is and how it's like one of the best productivity tools. We have our smartphones now, and using the calendar in the smartphone, so the Apple Calendar or Google Calendar, when you're tracking it, then you see the progress and you're getting that feedback of, oh, I meditated for 20 days, I meditated for 30 days, I meditated for a month, I meditated for a couple months. That gives you a good feedback of realizing that you're gaining your focus. And I used to think of all these disciplined practices as tedious and boring. And my young cousin, he was telling me about how you can, whatever you do, you want to make it like a game-like motion. You want to gamify everything. And right now, when you're tracking it, you're kind of making it like a game as you're leveling up. You're leveling up your character, but so like in a video game, you're leveling up your avatar. First he has a shield, and now you want to get an armor, so he has to go and hunt and kill more. This is like a Monster Hunter. So anyone who's a Monster Hunter fan, I don't play video games anymore, but back then I would play. There's one famous game, Monster Hunter, so I'm just giving an example of that. So my character, my avatar, was leveling up by going out into the wilderness, killing monsters, coming back, and with those flesh and all the cool gadget, not gadgets, but all the, so like a tooth, or this like if it was like a reptile skin monster, then I would get the reptile and then bring it back into my village, and then go to the swordsman or shieldsman and then ask them to build something for me. So my avatar is leveling up. You want to sort of gamify that, and instead of thinking of an avatar, you want to imagine if you were that avatar and you want to level up each day you're going by. You want to level up, so you're pretty much gamifying your whole experience. And meditation is one of them. You want to meditate you want to gamify meditation and sort of think of it as a tool to help you and progress you in your life. And your destination is full focus. Your destination is to have focus. So that's my whole spiel about how you want to start meditation and how you should start meditation and how you should meditate to regain focus. Thank you guys for watching, and definitely subscribe, like. And I'll be uploading a lot more good content. Sorry for this vertical non-stimulating video, but I just wanted to get the content across, not to make me look visually appealing. Alright guys, until the next video, see you.